All right, everyone. Hey there. Now, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is the high probability watch list for the week of April 14th. Now, it's a Friday, and I'm starting this early. I've been putting out videos all day, updated videos, market videos based off the S&P futures here. So we're going to be doing a lot of trading on this next week. We're actually be trading the SPY, the SSO, the SPXU, the UPRO. These different ETFs, we're going to be trading them on the indicator package and, in the charts and basically the HPS methodology. I've been waiting to do this. I've been testing out some things. We've been getting everything straightened out, and we're about to launch this. And I'm just going to see more trading, basically. It's not a big announcement. Just going to see more trading based off of these that vehicle. Now, we're right down here at the lows of the day. We came down, we were just, I've been doing random videos, and we were talking mainly about when we're going to take these trades. And today was actually a very interesting day because about 10:15 we noticed that we had our first opportunity. We had a good oversold level. It was Tradeometer set up. It was a nice pullback. There was some other things on the 60-minute chart, but most of all was that, in last night's video, we talked about the first target. The first target in the day was going to be this underlying trend line, and we came right down to it, and we tagged it, and we bounced aggressively off of it. It was oversold, and it was a trend line. Remember, we started off about here, so to get down to this level is breaking down through this trend line, which we said we were going to break down through. I'm going to make that a different color right now. Let me bring this over here. We'll make that dark blue, just so you can see it a little bit better, and to come down and hit this underlying trend line, which is part of 1, 2, 3 pivots. So it makes it a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 pattern. You come down, you trade 4. Now the retest of this is coming back down. This is kind of expected too. We're kind of failing. We're starting to roll over a little bit more. The daily, again, that was the big negative on the overall thing, and the overall pattern. There was a lot of space down here, so we knew that 1800 was definitely an option on this. In this pullback, and it still looks like a good option. So with all that said, we're going to catch up with the market right now. Again, we have an oversold level. We're at a pivot area. This is a support 1 pivot, and you can see the market for the last, looks like a good 20 minutes, 15 minutes, been chopping around right on this level. And again, we show you the. Let me see if I can bring this up. There we go. Here's a tradeometer over here, and you're going to see that's going to come into an oversold level. Now, what I'm looking at is this 1, 2, 3 pattern here, and this underlying trend line. There's 2 really that's growing out here. But I'm really looking at this lower one.
Tradeometer oversold.
And you can hear that. I'll make that this light blue one. This is the one I'm really paying attention to. And I would like to be able to take a trade off of that. And that's the important concept. When you see everything line up, that's where you want to trade. Even on a day like this, I'm not forcing to trade, even though I do like Visa down here, and someone asked me to talk about Visa on the watch list. So we'll start off talking about Visa going into next week. And actually, I'll get ready to maybe even look at a position down here. If we get down to this blue line down here, seems like a stretch. I mean, we are starting to sell now. Let's take a look at the Visa. And the Visa, one thing I like about the Visa is that we broke down through the 200 period moving average. We broke down to the 200. We came back to a support line. What used to be a nice support line, but it also used to be a nice area of resistance. So resistance, pulled back, broke through it, held it. Now we're back down to it. Combined with the oversold on the daily, and of course the hourly is oversold. So there's a lot of interesting levels here on Visa that I really do like. But market's selling off, so we have to be very cautious and not catching a falling knife here. So let's bring up Visa on the screen, and here we go. We're starting to break down. Where's my Visa? Where is my Visa? It's hidden somewhere. All right, you can see Visa down here, 195. Market's pulling back down to the lows at 1810. We have 2 minor trend lines. We have a tight trend line right here. We're right on it, but there's a bigger trend line underneath us on the channel. We're making new lows here. Visa's actually holding off the lows, but most things here getting dragged down with it. and then here continue to pull back.
Tradeometer oversold.
But here we go. Nice oversold level. Underlying trend line. Bounce zone. Let's see what happens here. Visa here bouncing. Take a look at the Visa one more time. This is the hourly. Again, oversold. The support line. I mean, the weakness is here. And again, the one thing I will stress, and I've been talking about it a lot lately on the show, is to get a good position on a great stock. You'll never capture the bottom unless you buy the weakness, and you'll never sell the top unless you sell the strength. Market selling off here. It's hard to catch falling knives. Never advised to go in to both hands. You know, save one hand so you can catch something. Well, let's see what happens here. You know, market here. This underlying line here, this blue line. This is something I'll be paying attention to. And I think we're going to get a good trade off of this. If we come down anywhere near
level 5 alert.
Oh, we even got a level 5 alert coming into play too. Beautiful, beautiful. But you notice that market selling off, Visa starting to hold strength now. Apple also holding way off the lows. Not way off the lows, but definitely holding strength. Though we're starting to see something. It's coming up on 3 o'clock. See what kind of bounce this market wants to put in here. 1810. This one trend line is oversold. There is a trend line, but if you go out here, you can actually see that this pivot area, and if we adjust this and make this pivot area there, that's where we're getting this underlying trend line. So that's we adapted this little pullback here. You can adjust these a little. So sometimes your charting program will say plot a parallel line and or copy the line, and it's much easier to like just copy that line. It'll put it in at the right angle and stuff. So let's copy that line, and then you could just drag it down to that pivot area and leave it right there. And now we know it's an equal distance channel line. And we're going to extend it a little, and now we're set up. So you can see we're pretty close to touching this trend line, and this is going to be a very nice level. Alright, we're basically at the spot here, so let's step up to the plate, Johnny, right? So let's take a shot at the UPRO here. UPRO is the leverage ETF long, and I want to take a shot here. Let me see what we got. I'm going to use the short trader account because you can just scalp unlimited on this. And I'm trying to set this up a little bit better. I've been working on trying to get it over here because I have it on the other computer, and it's hard to get it all configured to show everything. Come on, by the time I get everything up, alright, there we go. Let's take a look here. I'm just throwing it in here. Let's do 100 shares. Alright, let's wait here. And this is the area I was waiting for. I want to go ahead and put that order in here. So again, we're in about about $90, and this is on the UPRO. Down 261. See if I can bring this chart up of the UPRO. Here it is. Alright, let's see what happens here.
Low tick alert.
And we'll also put that circle meets square right here. And we're right on that line right now. Right on the line right now. go for another one if we can. Yeah, let's just double up here. I'm gonna double up on it. All right, so average cost here, 90.81. And what happened to my chart there? Come on. All right, 90.80.
Tradeometer oversold. Low tick alert.
So now we're set up here automatically. We got 200 up there. I got a market order
Level
in.
5 alert.
Got a level 5 alert. We're going to start to get a bounce here. Now we got a gain of $14. Realized gain that I was trading this before, so I have a little profit in it from before on a couple of these levels. But doing this live right now, and you can see this is exactly what I wanted to see. Just wait, have patience for this level. I would say the hardest part doing something like this is, understanding there's a downward bias in the market, and it's not to expect too much out of these bounces, and these bounces are actually better short opportunities. So it's, even the 200 shares here is only giving me a $20 realized gain right now, and that might not last too fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of watch this thing, I have to let this thing play out a bit. So I'm going to step up here, stand up.
Tradeometer oversold.
Move around. So maybe pause it and we'll just come back
Level
in 5
5
minutes. Here.
alert. Level 5 alert. High tick alert.
That's what we like to hear, right? So, and again, it's going to be a segment starting next week. We're going to call it the Share Trader Trade of the Day. We're going to try to just take the indicators, the setups that are converging, pure HPS zones, take the trades, be able to get in and out, not having any day trading regulations against you. You could just feel comfortable taking a profit on this, bounce up to the 50-period moving average. Again, this is probably the hardest part of it, is realizing your profit area. So you might even want to take 100 off here and scale out. And let's see, we get a little further pop here. Alright, I think that's 32 here. 33. About $100. We're going to take that. We're going to take 100 off there. So we just took 50 off, or half of that off. Locked in 50, and now we're going to let the other 100 run.
High tick alert.
And let's take a fast look. I mean, you got to be fast on these things. Much easier. I'm going to take it off right here, just to clear my plate here, not worry about anything, because I do have to go and take a look at some of the charts, and that's probably the hardest thing also, is being able to manage everything. All right, continuation of this video here. That W pattern played out. Now we've taken out this. This was the original trend line. I left it in here, but the main trend line up here, this blue line, is the key level here. And I was identifying that early on in this downward trend. The top is usually a first pivot area. The low before the breakdown is usually the second, and then as the trade continues on, we had a tight trend line here, but we popped it to the 200, so we adjusted the trend line there. Then we had this parallel line came down. We waited for the trade to come down there, took the trade, and then bang. And knowing that we're coming into a time frame, we're oversold. This was a great level here. Understand that first pop is usually going to be met with a retracement. And that retracement is that's the W pattern you're looking for. And then boom, off to the races. Now we're back up to 1814. And, at this point, you have to understand your higher probability zones are down here. Now you're at a position where, we're coming into the last hour of the trade, last half hour of the trade. There's a lot of positives to push this market back up. The oversold levels, the underlying trend line on this thing. So it's hard to go into a short there, even though we have that trend line in front of us. We have to be able to trade in the time frame and in the area we want to trade. Just can't take a trade at 330 because we want to get more profit. If it's not a good trade, you end up going to be chopped up or burnt out. Something's going to happen. It's just not not the area you want to be in. You want to be in your zone. You want to have that patience. You want to just feel good. It came down to your level. You take the trade. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you move on. But the majority of the time, it will work, and that's the key. It's just like anything else, And again, I should have just let this thing fly.
Hi, Tucalert.
And where's the Visa now? Visa here approaching that 197. But again, we took that off, and I still have the Visa. I still like the Visa here. Again, we're doing some different things here, preparing ourselves for next week. Kind of sending out this video as a kind of an educational video. Some live trading here. The 200 period moving average tested again, and market here on the move. Market on the move. The SSU here pushing higher. The UPRO pushing higher, and we're right up against that 200 period moving average. Again, we're up against that 200 period moving average, and you know what that means. That has held us back. So if you have an issue with it, then there's your 197 there. All right. So, and we're starting to get a dual stochastic setup. I'm not gonna, I would actually take a look at the Tradeometer right now, and let's take a look at that. And that's the breathalyzer. Here's the Tradeometer, Algo X. We're not overbought yet. We're not oversold. If that was banging on the overbought level, I would consider this time frame as being a more volatile time frame. So I'd be less likely to take this trade. But I'm going to mark it off as a 2 indicator zone. I'm not really want to mark it. I think we're actually going to push higher. Let's take a look at the the S&P one more time. We're holding that lower trend line, which is good. We're oversold on the hourly, which is good. And the daily, again, that is the negative one here. But overall, I think we accomplished what we wanted to do today. And the whole process was about this trend line down here. We came to bounced back to it, bounced. It's actually a nice area now. Let's watch this level. Let's watch the 200 period moving average. We've touched it here. We've touched it here. And we touched it all the way around. So this is what we're going to see next week in Day Trading Radio. I'm going to put this video out to the members, but we're also going to send it out there in the Traderverse. And if you like what you see and you like to see these lines, you like to see live trading free every day, come to Day Trading Radio. Walk you through the trades, walk you through the high probability zones. And we have a great chat room also. Hundreds of traders trading options, futures, stocks, of course. And next week should be very, very busy. So come on by, daytradingradio.com. And I'm going to finish this video right now. You can give me some feedback too. All right, take care, and I'll see everyone Monday. And for those out there who are members, well, you're going to get a continuation. Part of this video is going to talk about the setups next week. So just stay tuned.